Hello everyone, this is John Galt speaking, here with a video where I've been getting some questions about some of my templates that I sell and stuff, and I thought I'd take a few minutes to answer some of these. So one question was about my FPS, multiplayer FPS basic template, and I included a scoreboard in this template. So let me go ahead and just show you guys this. So you can see that it shows the blue team and the red team. And so I did not include a way to increase the score, right? Because, you know, depending on the kind of game that you're making or whatever, you know, there's 10 million different ways that you could score, right? Like, is it based on deaths? Is it based on how many hits you get? Is it based on how many matches you win, right? So that's why this is called FPS Basic, right? So it's got all the functionality that you need in order to start from, but it doesn't include the intricate details. So anyway, since I did include this scoreboard, it's unhooked, right? So let me show you guys where you do that. Now, once again, guys, I haven't been in Unreal Engine in a long time, so you'll just have to bear with me here. So in the gameplay, under the level, actually no, it ain't, it's in the system folder. So underneath blueprints in the system folder, there is a BPGS MP FPS basic. So this is the game state. So if you open the game state, you will see right here, it's got the ability to add the score. Okay, so what you do is that you call this function, this custom event, you call this from wherever it is that you want to have add the score, right? So in other words, if you want it to be on deaths, as an example, I believe that you should be able to just go into the character blueprint in here, and right here you can see that we're doing damage and all that cool stuff here. So you would call this, let's see here. Let's see, this is called server kill player. Well, that's right here, right? So see, the thing is I've also got a kill switch hooked up in here, right? So if you hit the Z key, I believe it's the Z key, it calls this, right? So if you add the score here, then even if you kill yourself, it will add a score, right? So, well, I mean, I guess you could do it here, just as a test. But once again, guys, I mean, you guys have to, this is a basic template. You guys have to determine how you want your score. But really all you would do is get game state right here, and then you have to cast to the custom game state that's included in here, which is this one. And then you call add score, right? And right there is the function called add score. And so, I mean, you could just splice this in right here. Make sure that you hook this back up here. And you also need the team, right? So if you right click here and type team, get local team. So you plug this in and compile that and save it. And it should just work, right? I mean, it should be as simple as that. Let me go ahead and set this up for 2 players, and we'll test this right quick. So 720 by 512, and that looks good there. And we'll do 2 players. New editor windows. Wait a minute. What did I do here? Wow. Yeah. That's supposed to be that. There we go. All right. So let's go ahead and host us up a match here. Put that one on red. And then we'll hook this one up on the blue team. Just like that. All right, so let me go over here and kill this guy. See if it gives me a score. And it did not. All right, let me try this way. And it did not. So let me do this. And it did not. Okay, well, that's fantastic. So it should be calling that. Interesting. Let me go back in here and look. Well, let's see if it's actually calling it. Maybe it don't work. I generally try not to put stuff in here if I don't hook it up, but I think somebody asked me for this, and that's why it's in here. Yep, it definitely called it. Okay, so then there's something else going on here. All right, so oh, look here. Look where it says bad enum. Do you see this? I bet you that's what it is. So let's go back to switch on e-teams right here. Maybe this is what it is. Somehow that enumerator's jacked up. Ah, okay. I think I see what it is here. This right here is supposed to be set to this enumerator right here called e-teams. So let's see if that fixes it. How did that get broke? Well, I guess part of the reason why is because this was never meant to be operational. So I guess that would explain it. Right, so let's try this again. All right. I'm rusty at this UE4 stuff, guys. I ain't been doing nothing in here. My attention is focused elsewhere. All right, so let's try this now. And it still didn't call it. Okay. Back here. There we go. See? Got to get this team hooked back up. So let's try this again. Somehow that enumerator got jacked up. I bet you it'll work now. Work with me here. Oh, I went the wrong way. Yeah, that's what I meant to do. Really? You know what? I bet you we could just open the map. I'm tired of going through the menu. Let's just see if this will work. How about now? Oh, there we go. But the problem is it'll just keep doing it. See, watch this. See that? Well, the reason for that is because I tried to jerry rig this in here, right? So guys, honestly, this is a basic template you guys are supposed to start from. But the reason that it's doing that, if you're curious, is because for every time that it calls this, it's going to trigger this. So this right here needs a check here. So you could put a branch here like this, and you would check to see is dead, not, and if he's not already dead, then you do that, right? So I think that'll prevent it from continuing to add score. Try it again here. At least want to give that guy that asked this question something that works. Let's see. There, it added one that time, and it doesn't keep adding. Let me kill him again, see if it adds another one. Well, it's reverse, right? So the red guy is killing the blue guy, but it's adding to the blue score, right? So, I mean, I guess you could track deaths, and whichever team ends up having the most deaths loses, right? That would be a way that you could do it. See, because I'm on the red team, so if I kill him, it will add to the blue score. So that would be a death. So if you were trying to do something like a free-for-all, what you would be tracking is which team had the least deaths, and then that team would be the winner. Or you could, reverse it. You could, let's see here. How could we do this? We could just switch this, right? Yeah, I mean, you could probably do this. Maybe that'll do it. Let's just try it. It's too early to be doing this stuff. So blue guy kill red dude. It should add to the blue score. There you go. So you could just reverse it that way if you want. right, there you go. So that answers the question. So for some reason, let me just show that again, right? So let's see. Let me delete this. I don't know why that enumerator is messed up. I probably need to do some updates. Epic Games is notorious for breaking stuff all the time. So let me go ahead and create this again. And I just really want to go in here and look at this enumerator. Okay, so we go into the blueprints folder, under the system, under the game state. And if we look down here, yeah, see, you can see that that is a bad enumerator. So to correct it, here's what you do, right? You take this custom event right here and you change this over to type team. Change this over to the E teams enumerator, and it will break that. And maybe you can just, no, you have to replace this too. So you'll right click here and type switch on, and you need the E teams. And then you could just replace this like this. And then you could do like that and get rid of that. And that corrects the issue. And then you just call that wherever you want the score to come from, right? So you saw me do it. I'll quickly do it one more time here. So if you go into the character blueprint in here, you'll want to do a check here, right? So you'll do a branch, hold down the B key and left click and come out of the then one. And what you're checking is dead. And put the not operator here like this. And if you are not dead, do that. And then right here in the logic where it calls it at, you could double click this, it'll take you right here. So right here, this is where you would get game state, cast to the custom game state, which is this one, and then call add score. Then you get your team. You can just right click here and type team. Get local team, plug that up, and then put this in your logic right here. And then once again, if you want to have the opposing team get the score, you just reverse these like that. And that should do it. All right. So I did have one other question about the TPS basic. And it had to do with, it was a question in the Discord server. Let me go in here and look. Something about lag, maybe frame skipping or something. Let me look here what this question was. Watch all the videos, yeah, so I forget what he was asking. Another thing, or anyone can help, when I made a level details, it didn't suffer with performance drops, but once I put in the same amount of bots as the test levels, it starts to have drops. So I'll leave a comment here in this video for this. How did you assemble your level, right? Because if you're using real assets, right? So you guys know that my templates, I generally, keep them pretty simple. And So if you're using legitimate assets, meaning you got a, I don't know, a level pack or something like that, it's all about optimization when it comes to multiplayer. So the reason that I'm able to have as many bots in that level that it comes with is because of all the geometry being super simple. So when you increase your level of detail, meaning you start using legitimate assets, you're probably going to have to reduce the amount of overall bots that you use. And it's just hit or miss, right? So, you know, when you're doing a listen server, it's nowhere near as effective as a dedicated server. And all the things that I create are set up specifically for a listen server. So the only thing I can tell you is do some frame per second checks. And also be mindful that, you know, when you're creating a level, you can't just throw in 10,000 static meshes, right? There's optimization techniques that you have to consider when you're doing those things. And so I would say that more than likely it's a combination of how many bots you have plus how many static meshes you have. And there has to be a balance between the two. So you'll likely either have to reduce the amount of bots that you're trying to use, or you're going to have to try to optimize your level, right? So that's really all I can add to that. And I think that was all the questions. I believe it was. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. I appreciate it, guys. You guys take care. This is John Galt, and we will see you in another video in another time.